question, the member from Kenora-Rainy River.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier or the Deputy Premier. The NDP has repeatedly confronted the Premier and this government with evidence that people in Grassy Narrows and Wabaseemoong First Nations were still getting sick from mercury poisoning, including young people. But she has repeatedly insisted that the mercury contamination from the Dryden mill was contained. She even warned that a full cleanup might make things worse. Now we know that her government has known all along that there was still mercury contaminating the river and that this government has been concealing this truth. When did the Premier find out that the ground under the mill was still contaminated with mercury, and who gave the order to keep this truth from the people of Grassy Narrows?
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Deputy Premier.
To the Minister of Indigenous Relations and Reconciliation.
Minister.
For that question. The Domtar report, which has been in the news recently, Speaker, was received by the Ministry in September 16. It is the position of this government that all information related to the mercury situation on Grassy Narrows First Nation and on the English Wabigoon River should be transparently shared. The Ministry is reviewing that report now to see what the consequences of that report are and what should be done. I should say, Speaker, that we have a plan in place to deal with the mercury pollution on Grassy Narrow, on the Domtar site. We are working with Grassy Narrows First Nation, with White Dog First Nation. We are working with the Ministry officials. We have committed to clean up the mercury site there.
Supplementary.
Speaker, the fact of the matter is that this government has had that report in its possession for over a year, and this government has always known this information. This is not new information. The minister did not let the people of Grassy Narrows know. How is that transparent? Instead, a few months after receiving the report, he told this House that, quote, there is no source, unquote, of mercury contamination. The people of Grassy Narrows and Wabaseemoong First Nations deserve to know why they have not been told the truth. Will the Premier tell us when she knew about the contamination and who gave the order to conceal this truth?
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Minister.
Speaker, the government received this report in September 16. We are committed to resolving this issue. I can tell you, Speaker, that in the past year or so, I have been to Grassy Narrows twice. I have met with the chief at Grassy Narrows.
Finish, please.
And the chiefs of White Dog. I have had meetings with former Minister Murray on 2 occasions, with the leaders from the communities. We have had meetings with the then federal minister, Minister Bennett. We are committed to this. We have recently provided about $5.2 million to support pre-remediation work. And subsequent to that, we've set aside $85 million for remediation efforts. This government is serious about dealing with this issue.